Welcome to GameGrin's weekly roundup, a selection of the biggest news stories from the world of video games. I'm TGK with this week's headlines. Let's get right into it. Are you a fan of cheap games and live in the UK? Well, you're in luck, because there's a new option when walking around the high street. Poundland, known primarily for selling things for, believe it or not, just £1, have announced they'll be releasing PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360 and Xbox One games for less than £5 in a number of their stores. According to Richard Bruin, a senior buyer for Poundland, around 350 stores are now selling games for each of these consoles for a maximum of £5 a pop. The games have been sourced from Music Magpie, a company that purchases games, DVDs and CDs for consumers or off consumers in exchange for cash. So far spotted are professionally refurbished versions of Destiny and Fallout New Vegas, but there are dozens to be found with probable variations from store to store. Unsurprisingly, Nintendo Switch games aren't likely to be featured, but Poundland expect to sell accessories for the Switch as well as Nintendo Wii U games in the future at the same price point. It's likely that the games featured in Poundland will be able to be purchased cheaper elsewhere in pre-owned variations, but if it means we'll get obscure games like Dalmatians 3 or Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys popping up in Poundland, then I'm all for it. Next up, Psyonix have made a couple of Rocket League themed announcements over the last couple of days, with one of them being more surprising than the other, in the form of a non-digital version of the game. After the initial collaboration bringing Hot Wheels cars into Rocket League, it's now time for Rocket League to enter the world where Hot Wheels began. The Rocket League RC set is set to be released in autumn for $179. Your choice of smart device steers Bluetooth-enabled cars around a self-assembled stadium, featuring a ball with an infrared signal triggering LCD boards after scoring. We do know buyers will get exclusive DLC to use in-game, and I would think so too at that price. On top of that, next weekend we'll see the long-awaited Tournaments mode get featured through Steam Beta, allowing eager players access to the game mode we've all been waiting for. Before its official spring release, players will be able to test the new UI, set up tournaments, and take part in those created. As always, changes will be worked on via feedback given from social media channels like Reddit, Facebook, and Twitter. The Tournaments mode is no doubt going to be massively popular in spring when it launches, and we'll probably be thinking, what did we do without it, considering the massive esports scene. The same probably can't be said over the RC set, and I think air dribbles are going to be considerably more difficult. Back in 1999, platforming game 40 Winks was released on the PlayStation. Developers Eurocom had high hopes for the game, but after their publisher, GT Interactive, fell into some financial trouble and was bought out by Infra Games, the N64 version of the game never saw the light of day. That was until Kickstarter backers got involved. After smashing through the goal of £14,257 to well over £50,000, the N64 version is due to live on in its original cartridge format. The game that received meagre review scores at the time is being brought back to life by Pico Interactive, known for their development and publishing of original games and ports to older consoles, such as Duke Nukem 3D for the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis. Backers can, back the game in exchange for hard copies, once completed at various different tiers. Plus, if into that sort of thing, can pledge more money to unlock stretch goals for swag like branded N64 controllers and plushies of Rough and Tumble, the game's main characters. 40 Winks is a bizarre revival considering it had such average reviews at the time of release on the PlayStation. Infamously, official Nintendo magazine actually included the quote, "Move over Mario," when reviewing the game on the N64. Safe to say the reviewer probably had a bad run-in with a plumber that week. Here's a couple of extra news stories to keep you enthralled for, the next 30 seconds? PUBG is now mobile. Now players have no excuse for poor PC performance, as they can blame it on their phone instead. Chinese players have legitimate access to the game that looks pretty good considering its inconsistent performance on PC. Announced late last year, China's mobile gaming market is booming, and the developers Bluehole clearly wanted to cash in on the action that focuses on controls mapped to the touchscreen with graphics resembling gameplay pretty accurately. The game is currently available in China, but eager fans have been able to get the game to run on devices overseas. And finally, Lara Croft is now available in Barbie form. Ahead of the release of new Tomb Raider movie, Tomb Raider, the officially licensed doll shares similarities with the new actress portraying her, Alicia Vikander, with her trademark tank top and combat trousers design. Fully equipped with a climbing pickaxe, Tomb Raider Barbie can be picked up for $29.99, which works out to be around £21, and is available now. And that's the news. Head over to GameGrin.com where you can check out the trending articles of the week. Ethan interviews Ryan Ike, the composer for Water Tastes Like Wine, and there's a new trailer for the sequel to Orwell, which received a Game of the Year nomination back in 2016. Don't forget to follow GameGrin on social media to never miss a beat. Show us your thumbs either up or down to tell us what you think. I've been TGK for GameGrin.com, and I'll see you next time with all the latest video gaming news. Ta-ra for now.